today. Even though we're having a little bit of trouble, we're still here and chilling with you. It's ChillPoint. Hey, everybody. It's been a bit of a hectic last hour or so.
Yeah, it's weird how much you can't do things all of a sudden when you can't get the Wi-Fi to connect to things.
We have so many smart devices in the office here that become not so smart when the Wi-Fi is having issues. So, you know, all the lights in like the lights in Studio B were having trouble turning on.
Half the lights we couldn't turn on. And then we also couldn't get, because we run a lot of stuff off of the laptop.
Yeah. And so the laptop couldn't connect.
Which means we also couldn't see the stories. We could see chat, though. Apparently we have that just directly connected.
That's
you're
important.
Very important chat.
Yeah. So we're here in Studio A. And we're gonna record. We're gonna do it in here, but luckily it's just Heather and I today. So
we sacrificed Beach in order to make the rest of the
Yeah.
episode work.
Yeah,
it's not because he has a different thing to do today.
It's an interesting. Although I appreciate now, folks. I don't know if we've actually said that or you've actually seen this, because I think it's always outside the camera view. But I was happy to see that Bluey, which is what I call there's on our the nano leaves on the triangle.
Yeah.
The triangle light panels on the back of Studio B have been kind of wonky for a while, actually. Like
they're tired.
The controllers, I don't know what's going on with them. Like it works, but then sometimes like it won't work as well as it should.
Just one won't work.
But for the last couple of weeks, the one at the very top, which is kind of outside of the camera view, has just been blue.
Like a bright blue.
Blue.
Basically lure blue.
And like we turn off the lights and they all turn off.
But not Bluey.
No, well, Bluey will turn off as well.
Oh, will he?
And then I'll come in the next day and it'll be on again.
Bluey gets up early or parties all night. I'm not really sure which.
So I don't know what's going on, what fancy systems, how the Nanoleaf system works, but it's not at the moment.
If you watch an episode of ChillPoint and you're like, oh, there's weirdly one Nanoleaf not on or acting
right, that's happened occasionally.
That's normal now.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, like, they seem to. It's not that they're like broken, because like they work.
They work most of the time. You can get them to work.
But it's just like they seem. Just some of the connections are. I don't know. Anyway, it's very annoying.
They make choices. So welcome to ChillPoint, the tech episode.
So this is a little more chill than normal ChillPoint. We're here in Studio A. And from what I understand, the folks over on Okie Okie Fight Club also had some tech issues.
They did have some ghosts as well.
So
hopefully we make it so that doesn't happen next week. They seem awfully targeted. Maybe Nelson's getting too good at fighting, and the ghosts don't want that. Unsupportive ghosts are kind of the worst kind.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move into what we're actually supposed to be talking about today, which is ChillPoint, where we talk about the week's video game news.
Oh, it's so depressing. The first one. The first one is very depressing.
As well as the episode Checkpoint. And yeah, the first story here about the, Xbox. Now, I think this is technically still in the realm of rumored layoffs, in the sense that like it hasn't been officially announced, but there's been a bunch of people have been talking about it, and the CEOs and stuff of Xbox have been very like, there's stuff a change is a coming.
Yeah, I mean, when you have the, I don't think that note was necessarily supposed to be public, right? The it can't continue thing.
No, wait, what? It was like it was posted on their own internal thing. Like, or
I can never tell sometimes if it's like, oh, this is a thing that employees got that we all learned about, or what.
No,
Sometimes
it was a public thing.
When it's like a, hey, everything's messed up and it sounds like layoffs are probably coming because of the thing we just wrote, I always assume that's an internal memo.
Yeah. I was a little surprised about that too, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in fact, so there what was from a I guess a programming standpoint on our side, what was interesting about this is that there were so many different kind of angles on this Xbox thing. I mean, because Xbox,
well, it's a cube, so it's like it's got a lot of angles on it. And the X is really
the
pointy
X has
too.
got
Have you seen the way that X is? It's sharp.
Especially now that it's all in capitals.
Yeah.
But Microsoft and or Xbox, because of their many acquisitions, they comprise like a big, they have a big footprint in the industry, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so there were a lot of different things about this. There was the aspect of like the which companies were going to get, would seemed like they were going to get the axe, what was going to happen to those companies, the whole thing with Ninja Theory maybe trying to sell themselves off, and that the Sensuna was sort of a kind of a thing to try to entice people into buying them.
Yeah, that one really gets me. We announced a game that
we know
is probably just gonna, like, there's like, we know we have some problems, but we hope we're gonna get through, and then there's this.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's depressing.
I mean, we talked last week actually. We talked about Sensuna. Is it Sensuna? Senuna. Senua. Anyway,
sorry, I was trying to figure out where it was written so I could see what it looked like.
We talked about Senua last week because of the whole like renaming their old game thing. But it turns out that there was possibly,
now they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. I guess so.
Because it doesn't need a name anymore. That's kind of. Does this feel like we're about to hit a second Embracer Group problem?
I mean,
like Embracer like grabbed all those studios and then became like, had to like basically shatter, and has still been kind of recovering in that sense. And Microsoft having like bought a bunch of stuff and now being like, shutter everything or let it go.
Yeah, I mean, we could be in that situation. And Microsoft, like, it's slightly different than Embracer in the sense that Embracer bought like a ton of little things, or not little things, but they bought a ton of different things, whereas Microsoft just bought a couple of ginormous things. But of course, when you buy Activision Blizzard, that is also buying a ton. Like, they bought a couple of sort of big
things that were
packages.
comprised of.
Yeah,
they bought giant jars of jelly beans.
Yeah. Whereas Embracer bought a bunch of different jelly beans.
Yeah,
these guys just
went to Bulk Barn.
They just went Microsoft just went for the assortment.
Yeah,
and just got that. And some jelly beans were bigger than others. To be honest, Double Fine might actually have a game that's jelly beans. I don't know. Sounds like the kind of thing they would do. So anyway, and now there's a lot of, I have to say that, like, obviously, Asha Sharma, the CEO, the new CEO of Xbox, is rightly, taking a lot of heat for this, which, I mean, that's basically what your job is as CEO.
I mean, yeah, but she would have taken this mess over if this is
So-
a mess that needs cleaning.
Yeah, like to be honest, I don't actually know if like what this move is actually. This move might actually be like the right thing for Microsoft to do. It sucks, and the only reason why they have to do it is because of various management failures back years. But maybe this is what they need to do in order to sort of right their ship or do whatever they need to think. But I hope
don't-
she's being paid well.
Yeah, I don't doubt that from a business perspective.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate it from a creative perspective.
Oh, yes.
or a dev studio perspective. I assume Double Fine will find their own footing because they always seem to.
Yeah.
Even when things seem bad for them. I don't know about the other two studios that much.
But I sort of see this as this is like, this giant whatever aircraft carrier, giant ship moving along towards something very bad. And in order to turn, they have to do a lot of they're going to do a lot of damage to themselves in the process of turning. But maybe they have to. I don't know.
That's harder for me to tell.
Yeah, we don't know. There's obviously all sorts of internal stuff.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about there's a Michelin Web sketch called like the new Führer or whatever. It's like the guy it's sort of a guy super excited to take over, after Hitler. And they're like, "You're the new Führer." He's like, "Oh, great. I have so many wonderful ideas." And then they're like, "Well, there's one thing in particular that we really need to do as top priority. Here's the phone number for the British government. Here are the English words for we surrender. Please." He's like, "Oh, so that's the reason why I'm in charge now." Okay. But it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you like there's the whole thing with the previous head of Xbox who'd been working with Microsoft and with Xbox for something like 25 years, leaving, as well as his second in command leaving, which, if you've been working there for 25 years and we're sort of thinking about coming into an area of retirement, and you knew this was coming, like you were like, this is,
Sometimes there's a good time to get out.
Some bad stuff is going to come down, that you knew you're going to be having to like gut the company that you've been working for and created over the last 25 years. Maybe that's a good time to leave.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we'll see what happens. Microsoft as a company, not just like Xbox, has a bunch of shitty shit that
it's
can
true.
Get thrown out a window as far as I'm concerned.
It's true. And as Graham says in this story, the biggest sort of thing that is always frustrating about this stuff, I mean, maybe not even not the biggest thing, but just the thing that is just sort of adding that insult to injury is the way, and this, this sort of famously happened with Hi-Fi Rush as well, where this thing of the CEO or high up people praising the company, talking about how great the game that they just made was, how much they respect it, and how much this is exactly the kind of game that they want to be making going forward.
Then shuttered the
while
studio.
at the same time going through the often while they're saying that, already starting on the process of shuttering the company, shuttering the studio. And it's just such a especially to sort of us, on the outside looking, you're just like, what is happening? It's that like, if your game fails, you get fired. If your game succeeds, you get fired. What is this? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's weird to watch. I think when that one happened, we also heard stuff that was like, well, it makes sense because they had to cut studios or whatever thing, whether you believe that or not. And the ones that they ended up cutting are like the ones that are in between games, the ones that don't have pitches or are actually working on things, which as the public can't tell the difference between who's working on something and who's not necessarily, right? So
Right.
I'm like, I guess, and again, it all comes down to business decisions that don't feel great because they don't feel human.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about math. Math is just not great
And it's not even like,
because it's not even fun math.
well, it's not even like, it's not like they know what they're doing, right? As we have found out over the, there's this sort of idea that's like, well, it's a tough thing, but they have to do this. And it's like, actually, it turns out that it was not something they had to do. In fact, it was the worst thing they should have done. But, there's all sorts of stupid argument. Anyway, let's move on because that's,
Again, it's really depressing.
yeah.
Or you could get real weird.
So, the story from Nelson is about the new Minecraft update, which, to be honest, like the whole thing with the sulfur,
Sulfur cave biome.
yeah, and the sulfur mobs or sulfur cubes, I think they're called. Yeah, does seem kind of cool. They're like a little adorable dude that bounces around, and then you feed him different blocks, and he digs on the. You can feed him like a treasure chest, and then you can put stuff inside him. You can feed him like a switch block, and you can then use him as like a switch.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of weird things you can do with it. I feel like it's very. I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of really weird Minecraft contraptions made up of it.
We like cute little things. We got a cute little bouncy cube. We like things that are slightly weird. And I think in Minecraft especially, just because of how long it's been around and how they keep adding different biomes and things. So to get something a little odd, like a little goofball that you can feed stuff to and it interacts differently is probably a really fun and interesting way to do some stuff in that game.
Yeah. And then and we had to make sure that we put the Graham's Xbox story at the top because it kind of filtered into the other stories over the course of this episode. Talking about if you feed a developer to the blobs, maybe they become perfectly cubicle developers that would in turn fit into cubicles, which would be very nice.
I don't think cubicles are meant to be
They're not meant to be just.
They're not meant to be square so that the person inside is square or cubed. I guess.
But think of how much better they would stack then.
Well, the cubicles do that.
Well, but you wouldn't even.
You telling me you want to put two devs to a cubicle? That's just mean.
I mean, we're already having the devs being eaten by a blob thing, so like, I feel like being mean to the devs is. We're already past that.
Well, yeah. Maybe we could give them all little tents or something to hide in.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hexacles. That's way more space efficient. Also 3 dimensions.
So many different.
So they're like on top of each other.
Wait, are we just being put into D20s?
Possibly.
D10s? Whatever that thing Rocky was in? You've seen Hail Mary? No?
No.
No.
I was like, Sylvester.
Rocky's a character.
Right.
And he gets put into a cubey thing
I was like,
to run around in.
What Rocky movie did Sylvester Stallone use a D20 in? I don't remember that.
I saw a Rocky movie once as part of a school day thing where we were like, nothing is happening in this class. Watch this movie. Pretty sure I ignored most of it.
Nice.
I know a lot of it from cultural references. It's fine.
He's a boxer.
Yep.
He beats up on some meat.
Yep. There's lots of punching and running and sweating.
Yep.
Speaking of those things.
It's Sonic's 30th.
Fifth.
It's the 5th anniversary of his 30th anniversary.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Sonic's 35th anniversary, and they're making this. Yeah,
They're making a life-size statue.
A life-size statue where I couldn't, in none of the stuff in it, it says it's life-size, but didn't actually give the measurements. Because I feel like what's life-size Sonic has varied a lot over the years.
It's got to be like, what, 2 feet tall?
Yeah, like a couple feet tall.
I mean, we have the Sonic movies, and he interacts with
He's
regular-sized humans.
But he's like sort of waist high in the Sonic
like
movies.
2.5 feet tall.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, how tall is the actor? A lot of guys are like 6 feet, so I guess he's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the statue, but then it's got the Chaos Emerald in the middle, and it says in the thing with Sonic DNA in it.
Yeah. Which is one of the weirdest things we can do, because what does that even mean?
Yeah, like what did they intend that to mean?
We know Sonic. Those of you under 12, cover your ears. We know Sonic isn't real.
It's true. Probably.
He's not real. We're not allowed that kind of fun.
But it's like also in the Sonic movies or video games or any comics, any piece of media, like that's not what a Chaos Emerald even is. Like why? Like that's not. It's not like
you're telling me the Chaos Emerald isn't made up of Sonic's DNA.
No.
I guess that wouldn't make any sense given the lore.
And yeah,
I see the 12-year-olds in chat are outing themselves. I told you to cover your ears.
And yeah, those that an anonymous muckraker, will never know who it was, but somebody posted a idea of what might be the source of the stuff inside the Chaos Emerald. Luckily, that person also took a screenshot of it and sent it to me.
Yeah, it's just really handy when the person who writes the story anonymously also writes a dumb post and then also makes sure that you get a screen cap, because that's just very nice of them to do. In our like internal Slack when we were doing this, there was just like a message from Beige. He was like, "I'm going to do a story. I'm going to take the Sonic story, and do something about that." And then like an hour later, he just posted, "Oh fuck, I'm flying." Yeah.
Which I guess he says, it's amazing what you can come up with when you it's amazing what you can end up writing when you know you won't be saying any of the words.
Yep.
So he was very excited about this story.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then
chat, you enjoy it.
Yep.
You don't have to live with it.
And then this is just like a small thing, but
you mean
there's a story, Video Game Chronicle website did an interview with Naoki Hamaguchi.
Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy VII Revelation just got announced. We got like the title. We knew it was coming, but we got the title. And it's time for his interviews, get that spotlight going. And
they sort of explicitly were like, "Is there anything you can tell us that you haven't like said anywhere else yet?" Which, that's kind of a hard ask, because presumably he's been doing interviews everywhere.
Nice if you can, because maybe they'll be like, "Oh well, I could give you something else, blah, blah, blah.
And so
Time's passed. Maybe there's a couple nuggets.
And so he goes, yeah, obviously I can't share the actual details and how the story is going to end. But in terms of how we envisioned the conclusion, we've had the idea for what we wanted to do. We had an idea of what we wanted to do from a kind of direction from the early days of development. And apparently also working with the original director of Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
But it was like, I don't know. I saw that and I was like, you had an idea of how you wanted it to end from the beginning, which baseline, I mean, good, but also it's a remake.
Well,
like I know they're embellishing it and adding more stuff.
you can change
but it's
the
still
ending.
following the same basics, like plot points.
And I mean,
thing.
it's nice to hear that a game has plans even in the development phase, because we've seen the games that don't.
Yeah.
I don't know any of them offhand, but I'm sure you can all provide your own examples. It is a remake, so you kind of have probably your plot points pretty already.
It's like you've got
sort of figured out.
Like you've got at least the outline of the plot is the previous game. So anyway, that
I don't know. Maybe
that aspect just
maybe there's something really weird at the end that's super
I
shocking.
mean, maybe it's going to be like they're going to go in a totally different direction.
It'll absolutely make us regret our words and deeds or some bullshit. I know that's a completely different person who said that, but you know,
maybe Sephiroth will have 2 wings this time.
That would be nice for him.
He doesn't just have to fly around in circles.
He's not a good guy from what I understand, so it's not maybe nice for everyone else, but maybe he's just been angry about only having 1 wing this entire time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe they can settle their differences through Switch Sports at the end of the game. In the Nintendo version.
He'll have 2 wings.
Every because it's supposed to be coming out for every console at the same time this time around. Is my understanding.
Oh, really?
So maybe every console will have a different ending. Maybe they'll be that silly about it.
Sephiroth will have 2 wings, but they're on the same side.
He's going to be so pissed. Is it going to be like 1 wing next to the other wing, or do you think they'll stack? They'll be like 1 up and 1 down.
I think 1 up, 1 down.
How far down do you think the second wing goes? Is it on his butt?
Yeah.
Butt wing.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
If any of this ends up true, that would just be really funny.
And then the final thing here is that apparently Marathon Season 2 is having an issue with their economy.
You mean the economy that they made up is not as...
Yeah. Don't you just hate this thing that happens so often in the real world where the economy is, everything is too easy to get and people are too rich and they have too many resources? It's just the worst. Everyone hates that.
I remember being a kid and finding $3 and I was rich because of all the 5-cent candy I could buy.
It's a lot of 5-cent candy.
Mm-hmm. You get really good at math at that point when you realize how much candy you can get.
I bet it's like 10-cent candy now.
Oh, it might be 20 cent even.
It's a dark day. But yeah, so I guess the 2 aspects of this is like, one, so they're like, you know, there are more. There's the quote was something like the loot that people have acquired in the like 1 month or 1 or 2 weeks of Season 2 is what they expected after like 10 weeks. And so now the question is whether that's like, you know, whether that's sort of in particularly if the loot is particularly going towards like some of the certain people, but not other, like if certain types of players are getting more loot because they're playing it in a specific way that is being rewarded.
Right.
But apparently these are the loot percentage drops and stuff that are happening were not happening, according to Bungie anyway. They were not happening in like playtests. So like this is actually like a bug. So anyway, we'll see if they go about, like, it's just one of those, it's kind of an interesting, I always find video game economies interesting, especially because it's like, obviously it has no connection to the real world, but there are some aspects of it that mirror things in the real world in terms of like how economies work and how currency works and the flow of resources and that kind of stuff, except obviously the company basically is God in this world.
Yeah.
And so they can change anything they want.
Yeah, and they force a reset.
They can force a reset.
Every however long a season is. Yet they don't give you any rainbows when they flood the ocean.
No. But I mean, like, EVE Online has actual like economists working for them, setting things up, because it's such a complicated system. And small tweaks can have very huge impacts. So this idea that like, they want to make sure that people are rewarded the right amount, but if people get too many rewards, then they'll be like, I have everything I want in the game, so maybe I'm not going to be playing it anymore. And
for live service, you're wanting it to last a certain amount of time because you need that time to make up your next stuff as it's going.
So anyway, we'll see how they do on that. And of course, that's part of the larger conversation of the completely separate layoffs and closure considerations of Bungie and Marathon and Destiny having issues. EVE Online hasn't had an economist since 2014. What? I'm sure I read more recent stuff about that. Huh.
It's a really hard time in this economy. Even the economists can't make it out.
And they know exactly how bad it is, too. That's the problem.
They probably know the optimal time to leave.
Anyway, let's move on to a couple stories that came up that didn't end up in the actual episode. So the first one, this is one of these stories that is an ongoing thing, and this is in the article that I'm looking at. This has had 3 updates to it.
Wow.
As things, because this is and some of you might have experienced this. This was a network problem or a security network thing that Sony was having. How this started, which seems highly suspicious. If it wasn't for the fact that this actually turned out to be like Sony had to do a bunch of work and stuff, then this could probably have been dismissed as maybe somebody just being weird.
Okay, well, what happened?
So what happened is people started reporting that their recently played thing on their like Sony Online or their PlayStation dashboard was showing games that they hadn't played and in fact weren't in their library.
Like they didn't even own.
Yeah, games that they didn't own.
Interesting. Okay.
Now the one aspect of it is that like some of the games that we're showing were like Hentai Princess, Sex Store Simulator.
But if your profile is public, then this is stuff that your friends can see.
Yeah, people were like, I haven't played that game. I don't own that game. It's not in my library. Yeah.
Did it also show them having trophies for those games? Because that would be funnier. Because that's like saying you've played it.
So, you might obviously be like, yeah, right, you didn't play that. But then, Sony actually, so the recently played thing, here, I can actually switch over to, So the recently played section of the dashboard actually just went blank for a while. Sony actually just completely took that section down.
Yeah, it makes sense.
While they tried to figure out what the heck was going on. So apparently this wasn't just people getting caught. Although maybe some people did get caught and were like, no, it was this bug.
It was that's
They had the luckiest time to be caught.
I suppose. So this is a thing that's being probably worked on, fixed.
Yeah. So the first update to this story was that they've taken the recently played thing completely offline, and then they've said that apparently they are making progress as it seems to have returned to normal, but Sony despite various people reaching out to Sony. Nobody from Sony has given an official reason as to like what the heck happened. And there's some aspects of in the past, not too long ago, Sony has been having some, hacking and
I mean, that seems
security
to happen
issues.
more on a regular basis than you want it to.
So obviously people are a little bit
I will say, if it is
suspicious of what's
if the
going on.
cause is somebody has hacked in and flipped some sort of thing that makes everybody recently played look like they've all been playing porn, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. As Laserbeak says, there's some people who are like, hey, my sex shop simulator isn't in my recently played anymore. What happened? I love that game.
Yeah.
I'm all about the simulator, not the other. But it's just a really good. It's just a very complete, accurate shop simulator. And what can I say? Commodore, remember them? Yeah. Commodore is launching a phone.
Okay.
And it's not a like a big, chunky, which would have been very funny, is if it was like a big, like chunky phone, like a big chunky cell phone. But no,
Going back to the early 2000s here.
they are going back, but they're going only back to flip phone.
A rotary phone would have been hilarious.
So they're coming out with the Commodore callback, which, so the idea here, it's a flip phone, kind of old school,
Okay.
but it's not just like let's make a dumb let's make a dumb phone.
It's not a dumb phone.
Let's make a super minimal phone. It is actually a smartphone, but it's a smartphone that's specifically designed to not run it's got some smartphone capabilities in it, and you can run WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, Google Maps, Uber, and apparently a few other ones.
Okay.
But no social media stuff.
So
no web browser.
there's phones that you can get for like cell phones you can get for little kids that are meant as like an emergency phone that have very limited functionality. Is this what we're doing for adults now? We're like, you know what? What if? I mean, it is popular to go back to things like having your own music player and separate things that aren't connected to the internet, which is great.
So there's a whole thing for like dumb phones, as like people will like take a phone out that it just like doesn't have all those capabilities.
Yeah.
And they're saying that the problem with they're saying smartphones are too smart and dumb phones are too dumb. So we built something halfway in between.
We made a mid phone.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that sort of makes it a little different from a from like a sort of crappy, like the idea of getting kind of a crappy disposable phones thing, is that it has a 48 megapixel camera in it. Like, so it's got a good camera in it, and it has a very high quality music player in it. Lossless HD audio, all sorts of nice and high quality in-ear monitor headphones, apparently. Also, a selection of ringtones based on Commodore 64 SID music.
Well, I mean, might as well.
Do they have the Sporting News baseball? But yeah, so apparently social media apps are blocked at the system level.
Design is to not just be school friendly, but human friendly.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
A FAQ section asking if the block can be turned off says no. The callback is built around these blocks. That's the point.
God, I don't even know what it would be like to go to school with social media, like high school.
Yeah.
That
sounds
terrifying.
It must be weird. Yeah. I have seen various anecdotes from school teachers indicating that it is kind of terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Like, I think Facebook was maybe just like a rumored thing. Like, it wasn't you can just sign on thing.
Yeah, to be like part of a university.
Like, there were forums and there were places to be online, but there wasn't like you have social media app on your phone. You have Snapchat or whatever.
But yeah, I definitely didn't have a phone when I was in high school.
I had one. I had and because I was under 18, because you can't sign a phone contract under 18. I had a pay as you go.
Ooh.
I got one when I was 16, and I had to buy minutes like every 2 months, because even if I didn't use them all, they expire them if you don't top up.
Oh yeah.
And I would use that mostly for texting, so I could make plans with friends.
Right.
Which was a lot, honestly, because as a kid, if my parents had a couple of pagers, so if I wanted to get picked up from the mall, like, you already made the plan, but I would page the pager from a payphone.
That works pretty well.
And
back when they had payphones,
that was kind of what we did. But yeah, I had a cell phone when I was 16. I had to go get it myself. My parents would never have gotten that for me.
Anyway, speaking of things that are changing in the world that are possibly bad, EA, as in Electronic Arts, is launching a new in-game advertising platform called EA Advertising.
Yay!
Or yeah.
What I love about the name EA is it's how you say no in Japanese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or at least it has a very similar sound to me.
And the business venture promises to connect brands to highly engaged audiences, allow companies to purchase in-game ads that range from real-time placement in custom in-game content that is designed to enhance and not disrupt the player experience. So, I mean, the one of the big examples that they have, which doesn't seem that bad, is like, EA Sports billboards on the field that are like real, that are actually ads, not whatever fake ads.
Right, like you would see in an actual
like
sporting
you would see in
event.
an actual sporting event, which is like, are they? And I mean, I've already seen, like, I've seen games already that have like in-game, like the billboards in, and I don't know if it was GTA, but I definitely have seen like open world games where you're walking around a city and there are like billboards, and being kind of freaked out that the billboard is like something that
what was it?
came out after the game was released.
Was it Alan Wake or a Resident Evil or something that had an ad for Duracell batteries?
Right. Yeah. Or no. Or Energize. Anyway,
Or Energizer, but like
But,
they had
batteries
a
are-
battery brand thing.
because batteries are really important in it for your
Yeah,
flashlight.
that's definitely what you want to be advertised is how shitty your batteries are in a video game context.
But yeah, so I mean that's obviously that's sort of the thin edge of the wedge. The question is, obviously, what is this? Where could you could imagine all sorts of terrible places where it could go.
Well, because
But-
so I know it's like, oh, well, it's not so bad because there's ads just on billboards and things, and we're used to billboards and things. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of billboards though.
Yeah.
Like we could do with less of those just in reality. Never mind in a video game. And there's a sense to be like, oh, realism in video games can kind of be fun, and it's more interesting when you see a person with a branded item. But I'm like, or if you've played Aggro Crab, where there's a whole bunch of trash in the ocean, it's hilarious to take a look at the stuff that they're mocking,
Yeah,
right?
like fake-
it's way more fun to see the fake stuff.
Fake stuff is always great. Yeah.
And what I know about sporting events now is if you go to one, there's a bunch of ads for gambling sites, and then you can also gamble at the sporting event. And I'm like, there's definitely a bunch of things I wouldn't want to have in the video game version of this either.
And if we're like, yeah, and then obviously you can imagine there being whatever. If you to skip this cutscene, go McDonald's or whatever, right? Like you can imagine all sorts of terrible ways that it could be implemented.
I like to think that if we lived in a universe where you actually could just stand up and say the advertiser's name, and because you've seen how ads happen, right? You kind of get like a very targeted like group of them for a while. So maybe
Right.
you get like just a bunch of McDonald's ads. I would say that at some point that yelling the word McDonald's basically is something people just start doing to say go away.
It just becomes
It becomes slang.
it just becomes synonymous with go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they have already EA ads or EA advertising has already paired with or partnered with Visa, Lowe's, Red Bull, Xfinity, Peacock, and Mountain Dew.
I mean, the energy drinks are, not surprising.
As
I don't know if credit card companies should advertise within video games.
and people mentioned in the chat, there's famously in Death Stranding, there's like weirdly prominent Monster energy drink placement that's like one of the like power up items, or one of the types of items that you like have in your base and all the different stuff. There's no immediate word on whether these ads will be injected into single-player games like BioWare's Mass Effect or the first-person shooter live service games like Apex Legends or Battlefield 6.
They will try if they can.
Yeah. The idea of another game being advertised in a game would also be kind of interesting.
I wonder if they would go that far. I mean, I can imagine you would do that for
Battlefield advertised in Call of Duty.
Okay, so one of the things I find funny about watching a Netflix Christmas movie
Okay.
is that sometimes you will see the characters watching other Netflix Christmas movies.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're by
Yeah.
the same thing. So I could see a game that is owned by a group, the publisher, having other games like that showing up as ads
Yeah.
easily enough. It's when you get into the would they showcase an ad for a completely different game. I mean, I suppose if they got paid enough money, they might. But
I say I like our speaking of network stuff, the TV that's in Studio C that we use as like the background monitor TV. It is a smart TV, but we have the Wi-Fi turned off on it. But because it's a smart TV, it once the show adds when you turn it on.
Yeah.
But because it's disconnected from the Wi-Fi, it hasn't been able to update its ad inventory. And so you turn it on and it's like Disney's Encanto. Come watch. In theaters this Friday. They're like, yep, just keep on advertising that.
Encanto was fun.
Yeah, it's good. I saw some folks in chat mentioning this when we were talking about the TV thing, or the phone thing.
Oh, the phones. Okay.
Is that the UK government is doing some pretty theoretically, assuming it actually goes through and however is actually like implemented, that they're going to be doing some pretty serious crackdown on children under the age of 16 on social media. Part of now, there's a couple things. It's like, it's like there's this thing of like, keeping kids off social media doesn't sound like that bad an idea. But obviously, the implementation is the tricky part. Also, apparently, they're considering YouTube to be social media.
Well, YouTube wants to be social media, essentially. So,
which opens up kind of a can of issues.
So far, what I'm hearing described sounds a lot like where we have a little checkbox that says, "Are you over 13?" Because we do have a lot of like internet websites and things that when you sign up for are like, "Oh, you should be at least 13 to sign up here."
Right.
I'm assuming, based on people saying the overreach, they plan to go harder than just you can lie about your age.
Yeah. And I mean, the how they do it obviously is a big question. There's been a couple of stories that we've talked about over the past year or so of various companies trying to do different types of automated age verification things, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, often doesn't. I love, there was a great thing a while ago that there was a story about kids deliberately watching like boring home improvement content on YouTube to make the profile think that they're older. We have to watch content that middle-aged people want to watch.
I feel like the people who want to watch home improvement might be above middle age now.
Yeah, or
it was fine when it was out.
Yeah, and like World War II documentary stuff.
All right. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't know if that actually worked, but it's kind of brilliant. The thing which could theoretically, I mean, it's not a huge section of our demographic, I don't think, but theoretically, this could also include Twitch if it includes YouTube.
Sure. I mean, again, most of these things like being a streamer or doing just even a photo site or whatever has a tendency to want to be labeled as social media because they want to have communities and they want to have people constantly coming back.
Right.
And the best way they tell you this as a streamer, they're like, oh, well, you have to make a community. You have to do these things if you want to be popular, if you want to be whatever. And I'm like, sure, there are people who've done that and having community is good. Some of these things are statements that are absolutes and a lie, but sure.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so much content on YouTube, and I mean YouTube in particular, like Twitch, there's some stuff but like there's so much content on YouTube that is like educational and stuff. Mm-hmm. That it does seem like a pretty wide swath to cut through. So I don't know. We'll see what is how this actually ends up. As with a lot of these things, the trick is going to be the actual implementation of it. And a lot of the time, there's
still generally managed by people who don't quite understand computers somehow.
Yeah, and I mean,
I feel like always one of those things.
And there's been a couple of situations especially with like security stuff, where like the government, and this has happened, I believe, both in the UK and in the US, and probably other places as well. But like, their government will like try to mandate like security backdoors and stuff. In a lot of like, depending on the setup, like, I mean, Apple has been sort of famously talking about this, is that like Apple's like, we put a lot of work into making our system end encrypted. That means that we can't read your messages. And then the government be like, but we need to have a backdoor into that. And they're like, we can't read your messages. And they're like, no, we want it to be secure, but we also want to have a backdoor. And they're like, we can't read the messages. There's literally, this is not a technology problem. This is a fundamental thing. If you can do one thing, that renders the other part.
Yeah.
Like they're mutually incompatible. There's no way that this works. And so, so sometimes I don't know exactly the implementation details for this thing in the UK, but there is sometimes where they think they have like the law or whatever will go into effect, and it's like, you have to do this with no, and companies would be like, hey, that is not possible. I don't know what you want us to like. Mm-hmm. And then you end up with the like checkbox, just where they're not actually like doing the thing. They're just sort of covering their butts.
Yeah, and then they get mad and they're like, well, okay, well then we'll do this other thing, and it breaks everything in a completely different way, or it gets to a point where nobody can just access certain websites because we've decided.
Right.
But don't worry, it was because it was to save the children.
Right, or you have like, you end up with the sort of, the Great Firewall or whatever. Anyway, let's move on to actually another legal situation.
Oh.
Palworld, their lawsuit with Nintendo, or Nintendo's lawsuit with Palworld, is apparently winding its way to the end, to a very unsatisfying conclusion, I guess.
Oh, okay.
A very or unsatisfying for either party. Or I mean, I guess Palworld is probably pretty happy about it, but basically the situation is that, like, Nintendo, we talked about this probably when this came out. Palworld, obviously there's a lot of similarities between Palworld and Pokemon in a lot of different ways. The aspect that Nintendo focused on and felt that they could best prove or whatever was not copyright. This is the important bit.
Okay.
Not the like copyright characters that like, this looks like Pikachu or whatever. They did it on the basis of trademark for their the implementation of a bunch of stuff. So the stuff like this is where like the Pokeball
the
trademark thing, or the Pokeball thing and different stuff like that. I guess maybe that is copyright. And no, it's different than I guess it's copyright as opposed to trademark. Anyway, the deal is that rather than going after these characters look too similar to us, they're like, your actual mechanics are too similar to ours. Patents. So that the Pokeball thing was a patent, and there's a couple other things.
Yeah, I saw many people freaking out about that because there's a whole genre of games that are like this.
Ball. So that was but the problem is that while that was winding its way through the court, Pal World has had many updates. And in fact, they're just coming out with like their big thing. We saw it
the thing that looked like Pokemon when it
even more Pokemon.
It showed off.
But they and one of the things that they've done is they've taken out the like Pokeball aspect to it.
Sure.
Like you don't throw a thing Pokeball anymore. So there's like this aspect where it's their Nintendo is claiming that they're violating this patent, but they don't have any. But they all they can do, but they don't have any ongoing complaint, right?
Right.
So all they can do is be like, you did do this. So the amount of money, like the amount of money that they are sort of liable for is not all future revenue. It's like the bit that
The
actually
time period in which you did this or something.
So it's like, apparently, even if Nintendo wins, it's something like $30,000 or something. Like it's like a very, in the realm of this kind of litigation, it is like a very small amount that they actually are on the hook for.
Yeah, I mean, Pal World's never been.
It's because Pal World has basically given up Pal World basically gave up the fight, right? They were like, we're not going to use any of these patents anymore. And Nintendo was, and so all they're liable for is the time that they were using it for, apparently. Anyway.
I do not care a shred for Pal World.
Have you actually played it?
Nope. I know I don't like the way it looks aesthetically. I don't like the things I've heard about it. I have no interest in this game. I would be very happy to see it just kind of slough off.
Right, yeah. So they're saying this litigation is no longer about anything serious in commercial terms. It is about a hypothetical injunction that doesn't apply to the current product, and small damages awarded for a period in which Pocket Pair generated limited sales in Japan. Because that's the other thing. This is limited to just Japan. So it's like, if they win this, they will have an injunction against Pocket Pair using the version of the game that they don't use anymore.
Yeah. I just think that it is a game that went out of its way to try to be like, haha, aren't we Pokemon with guns, in its initial advertising.
Definitely.
I had no interest in it. The gameplay stuff has no interest in me, and I don't particularly care about anything to do with it. I'd be just glad that any of these lawsuits don't fuck up any of the indies.
Yeah, that's of course, the collateral damage would be a shame if, whatever cassette beasts or something.
And I'm not particularly hot on groups that try to poke fights, which I kind of feel like Pal World does a little bit, but whatever.
Speaking of things picking fights with other things, animals picking fights with adorable toys.
Oh.
Because Pokemon is putting out a bunch of merch, about a bunch of
pet merch.
Pet merch. For instance,
the cat toy is pretty good. Yeah.
The Magikarp cat toy, dog bed, very very nice. You've got. You can hollow out a Jigglypuff.
A little strange.
And have your cat live in it.
It's not the weirdest Pokemon thing I've seen, but it's a little weird. I like the little Snorlax chair.
That's what I was like. What is that? Right, it's a Snorlax chair. That is adorable. A little blanket. Adorable.
Yeah.
The Magikarp. Yeah, the Magikarp on the fidget rod thing continues.
That's pretty good.
Continues the Nintendo and the Pokemon Company's abuse of Magikarp as a character.
He won't get stronger otherwise.
I just like how they keep emphasizing that Magikarp is terrible.
It's
like terrible and pathetic. And it's like, yeah, but it's that way because you guys made it that way. You made him. You programmed him to be terrible, and then made fun of him for being terrible.
Magikarp is all about the struggle. It's about the koi that went up the waterfall to become a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
It does its best.
It does. Go Magikarp. So I guess this could be the last story here.
Simulation simulator?
So
what? What are you simulating?
I believe one of our mods posted this on Slack in the context of this is the only AI video game that I'm interested in. It's essentially the description is you just did DMT at a campfire in the woods. Now you have to convince your best friend, a skeptical monitor-headed guy named Bingus, that reality is a simulation. He doesn't believe you, and the AI powering him doesn't want to. Pick apart the world seams until one of you breaks.
Okay, so when you say AI, you mean the characters in AI, not that the game's made with AI or
I think
other hopeful things
that the AI that like the conversation that you have is actually like a AI, like it's like a chat
local
bot.
AI Llama 3.1 runs
Yeah.
entirely offline, bundled with game, no account or internet needed.
So it is actually a chat bot that you're talking to. Basically it's like hacking a chat bot in a video game.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, they have, AI generated content disclosure. I don't know. It sounds like a kind of a fun idea. Yeah. The AI runs entirely locally on your machine. Nothing is sent to the cloud. That's the whole point.
Yeah, the disclosure says uses a local AI language model to generate the NPC's dialogue in real time during gameplay. All AI processing runs entirely on your device using bundled software, no internet connection, and no data is ever sent to external services or third parties. Also, mature content description.
This choose your own adventure.
Because it's a choose your own adventure
Yeah.
with an LLM.
Right. So it's saying that like they don't necessarily can't guarantee that it's going to give you good, like, and I can kind of like respect. So this is actually using the AI as a gameplay element, as opposed to whatever, using it to generate stuff. This is sort of deliberately, Pinocchio, but Chat GPT. And it reminds me a little bit. A while ago, I was talking about that somebody was making a thing that was like a chatbot interpreter for a text adventure game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
And it's kind of a similar, or to me, it feels kind of similar in the sense that it's like, you're not sort of disguising what you're doing, and it's not like that's the mechanic of the game is the chat thing. It's not like that is text that would have been written by an actual writer. That the whole point is that and as they say in the description here, that this is running locally on your computer. Saying it runs locally on your computer, nothing is sent to the cloud, and that's the whole point. It's also why your hardware dramatically affects the experience. Depends on machine that meets recommended effects. Responses will come in a few seconds. On weaker hardware, it'll get slower. So talking about different stuff, and the better your experience, or the better your computer, the better your experience and stuff. But the idea that this is a game, I would guess that this is a game that probably works better, or this concept for a game in some ways probably works better with a less sophisticated chatbot AI thing. Like like he doesn't want it to run on the cloud and be using like a really fancy one. The Llama 3.1 system is like a little bit of an older AI system, and it's running locally on your computer, so there's less resources and stuff because it's funnier and more interesting to have like AI responses that start getting a little bit wonky as opposed to something that is actually like is better at staying coherent. So anyway, it's kind of an interesting idea that especially the context of like, or that whether it be like you're sitting around a campfire and just took DMT and now you have to convince your buddy that life is a simulation, because it is, I guess.
It's not my playground of choice, but
I mean, your life in the game is a simulation because it is a video. It's sort of a fourth wall breaking thing. But anyway, I think that's all.
It just sounds like an argument simulator.
I mean, it is. Yeah,
I already have the internet, Paul.
It's arguing with a LLM as a game is really what it is. So, different people interact with that in different ways. Anyway, I think that's all the stories that I had on the list. Normally I try to collect a few other ones, but
It's been a weird week.
Busy. But
I mean, we're still in the after glow of video game announcements, I think. So there's like a few of those still filtering in. Next Fest is going on right now, so there's like a lot of demo stuff.
There's like thousands of games. Like there's something like 8,000 games participating in Next Fest.
It's too many games.
Also, I feel I don't like Afterglow as
you don't like Afterglow
as a term for that. And yeah, Gapfell, I also do not like refractory period.
Yeah, there is a lot of AI slop in the Next Fest as well. I have seen people talking about an add-on thing I think you can get for the Steam client. Maybe it's for browser or whatever, where you can get it to filter out AI games to look at or something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
might be helpful to cut down that 8,000 total to something more manageable to look.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could just have something that looks for that AI disclosure thing and takes it. But
I mean, it's a way to cut down on what you're looking at, right? Like essentially having a list that's that long is overwhelming.
Of course, the danger is people start filtering it out, then of course people stop putting it in, and then but anyway, that's what we had to talk about. If you haven't seen this week's episode of ChillPoint, I recommend you do. It is funny, even if the top content is a bit of a downer sometimes. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please follow the channel if you're not already. And if you want to become a member, you can have your name in the credits at the end of the ChillPoint.
You have 40 games bookmarked? That's so many games.
But
that's just a lot.
But for now, we will talk to all y'all later. Goodbye.